Hello everybody and welcome to another Beyond All Reason video. Back on the map that everyone is loving right now due to the Bar Pro League, and that is Hades Ponds. And today we have in red here Yun playing Cortex versus Highgain, who is playing Armada. Now we'll see how these players do, but it is quite a big map as we've seen before as we zoom on out there. And plenty of metal and just plenty of fun to be had. So many explosions probably going to happen. We may even see a rise to tech 3 if the game goes on long enough, but who knows? And let's see what the players are choosing. So as we zoom on down to Yun, starting off with mostly solar, going into bots, adding a single wind into the queue right now, just due to it being 14 wind. You may as well chuck that in there. And the opponent, Highgain over here, starting off with a mostly wind start. Did have 2 solars in there just in case the wind dips, but been 14 pretty steadily for a while now. Trying to rush out that con, but still doesn't have quite enough energy to be able to rush it out effectively. So we can see he's just going to build a bit more. So with the map being so big, you're seeing that both players are going for quite a constructor heavy start here. Just due to the fact that it takes so long for your units to get across the map, it kind of makes sense. There's no real reason to rush units out straight off the bat to try and pressure, because by the time the units get across the map, your opponent is going to have defensive forces anyway. And that is exactly what Yun is planning, mostly with his grunts here, putting them in defensive positions here to defend his constructors. And surprisingly, well, at the moment, Highgain doing the same with his scouts. Kind of surprising to maybe use scouts for this, but if his opponent was Armada, he may be expecting some ticks to come over, and therefore rovers would work quite effectively at being able to take those out. Now, going quite heavy on the cons here, going for a 3rd constructor before pushing out anything but scouts. Really wanted to get that metal as quick as possible. Yun has just finished his 3rd constructor as well as getting this con turret down. So both players being very, very greedy with their early starts here. And when it comes to metal extractors, let's just see what that means. So we have 8 metal extractors for Yun, and we have 10 for Highgain. So just a little bit ahead. It's mostly due to this triple spot here. In theory, if you're looking at kind of the way that the map is laid out, in essence, Highgain is just finishing off this triple very soon. Some scouts do manage to make it by. They get 1 mech so far. The grunts are on the way. Self-destruct does not manage to go off in time, and the scouts will not be able to get any more value out of that triple. Oh, but he's going to try anyway. Oh, needed just a single tap on that, and that would have killed that again. But still, losing 2 metal extractors. The con is there, ready to rebuild it. So he's only losing, you know, a matter of seconds, really. But still, any slowdown is a slowdown. Now, Yun also struggling for energy right now. Plenty of metal, which is why you see here he is queuing up some solars. But another reason he's, you know, having problems is because he was pushing out the constructor with the con turret. So of course he's going to have energy issues when building something like that. Now, finally we see blitzes coming out from Highgain. And his 1st construction turret, but just look at the amount of cons different between the 2 players here. We see 6 constructors for Highgain, and on the opposite side we see nowhere near that quantity, only 4 from Yun here, which is funny to see that build power for a second was basically equal, just due to how much extra build power a con turret has over actual constructors. But of course, now with Highgain having a con turret himself, it's going to change that somewhat. As the first fight of the match takes place now with the blitzes versus the grunts. First blitz goes down just seconds before the grunt does, but 2 grunts for a single blitz is pretty much standard numbers. But Highgain is definitely getting these quicker. That LLT will get built though, just in time to stop any further aggression from here. And the constructor choosing to build arm metal extractors here will slow down the aggression from Highgain a little bit and control a bit of a choky point here. He has sent all those units round to the top though instead in an attempt to try and find a hole. As we zoom over to here, he has surprisingly not moved the forces that were in the center, Yun, and just kept pushing forward with them instead and let his new forces straight out the factory deal with these blitzes. Choosing not to go in, but some damage is going to be inflicted here. We may see a well-timed LLT self-destruct. That's kind of what Highgain needs. Oh, bypassing the LLT entirely, losing so many grunts to this. I think that was very unintentional. Big mistake by Yun there. Just ran all of his forces just freely into LLT fight. Did he not know that LLT was there? Maybe, but still. That's a big waste of a force. Meanwhile, a few blitzes did manage to sneak by along the bottom here, and they will continue to get a bit more damage. They will die as they approach this LLT. And because of that, you can see he's deciding to turn around there. So far, Highgain in a pretty strong position here. He has got quite a lot of his expansion mexes, hasn't really lost too much. And because of that, he is starting to pull ahead on pretty much every single avenue. It's looking pretty close when it comes to build power. Metal produced is only 1,000 difference at this point, but the longer Highgain obviously keeps that metal advantage, the more it's going to make. And you got to also remember that the choice here to go bots, the constructors themselves are actually slower. So Highgain should be able to cap everything quicker than his opponent. These will not manage to get through there at all. And things being pretty passive right now. Flame turrets queued up there by Yun. Just investing quite a lot into defenses there. He's also got a mine layer come in that's just going to invest in a bunch of mines as well. Those grunts attempted to go in and just got absolutely well, no. They took out the metal extractor. Ooh, but will he lose the constructor? He does. He loses both blitzes, well, 2 of the 3 blitzes to do it. But I did not manage to catch that fight in time. But 2 grunts to 1 blitz again. Could still be anyone's game right now. We see Highgain has doubled down on vehicle factories here, going for 2 of them rather than building more build power around the factory. And a badly positioned army there by Yun gets collapsed by Highgain's blitzes and just completely demolished. Now there are some more units going up there, and that's quite a few grunts. See 700, almost 800 metals worth of grunts to 1,100 metals worth of blitzes, but all of these blitzes are pretty heavily damaged, and unless Highgain gets some repairs on them, they are probably going to get folded pretty quickly. I'm surprised how many mines Yun is building here though. And just for note, he will have seen that mine layer, so Highgain will have got the alert saying mines detected, as he looks like he was about to drive into them. There we go, he does anyway. And just slowly creeping forward with beamers. Which is quite a surprising tactic, to be honest with you. Don't often see just slow sprawl of defenses from a 1v1. Oh, the blitz line spread out a bit as Jan attempts to make a move into that same spot as he was before. And here they come. Highgain already expecting them to march up and over the hill. Oh, they just march into their deaths. LRT assisting the fire, and those grunts get nowhere. Left with only 252 metals worth. Bear in mind this started at like 800. And still plenty of blitzes and a fresh bunch of blitzes added to that as well. Oh, but Young's commander here potentially in danger. There is a lot of stouts here. Tremendous D-guns though, catching multiple tanks with single D-gun. And that very dangerous looking push there from Highgain just gets completely turned around. Some poor micro by Highgain. That could have won the match right there. These guys was probably what his attention was doing instead. Oh, we missed this, but there is an air transition from Highgain here, an attempt to pick out some of those metal extractors. At the same time, though, whilst he's been doing that, Jan has transitioned to Tech 2. But this is a substantial raid at the top from those blitzes. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 metal extractors destroyed just by those blitzes as they made their way through. Not really making great use of the gunships, but could have been hitting these mexes over here. That would have done a lot more, but instead shooting the mexes on the front line. He knows his opponent is Tech 2, so he needs to make most of this now and either transition to Tech 2 himself, or he needs to double down. By the looks of it, Highgain has gone Tech 2. He has substantially impacted Yun's economy, so it makes sense to do that. These gunships are tickling the fiends to death. I think Incise is actually doing fairly well as well at shooting these gunships. Not quite quick enough, as they have killed a fiend, but still.
Battle paused.
Oh,
Battle resumed.
Paused, let Yun reconnect, and then continued on. For those that thought maybe Hellshound might, not Hellshound, sorry, Highgain might be playing here without Yun actually being here. No, Yun is back. Yes. Yes, you have a Twitcher building a metal extractor. Is it more the fact that it somehow got all the way down there without building any of the metal extractors? I think that's probably it. Like, why did it skip all of this and just went straight down to here? Why don't you want this metal extractor to Tech 2? He's surely going to have to pump out. Oh, he has. There we go. I was going to say he surely has to pump out another Tech 2 here in order to get his base mexes up and running, which he has. So Jags coming out from Highgain here. He has a ridiculous amount of build power. Look at the metal a second as well. 70% advantage. Just look at the beamers. Make such a short work of that army. And it's like, oh, hey, thanks for the 1.5k reclaim. I wouldn't really chase a single fiend down with a bunch of blitzes, but you know. To be fair, the fiend was pretty much dead. And now Highgain is free to push through, but these guys are just going to get annihilated by the defenses. Not as annihilated as I thought. Oh, but now that they've turned around to come back in, yeah. And as Maritus said about feeling like people have been practicing this map, yes. This is like when looking for replays to cast. This is pretty much the only map I'm seeing anyone play right now in 1v1s. I like trying to give you guys some variety of stuff to watch. But I'm like, well, there's not really much choice, so you're going to get another one of these maps, I'm afraid. Oh, and those Jags with some great positioning by Highgain make short work of Yun's army. And this is a problem for Yun. Unable to pretty much block any of this. Ooh, but the con has made it up there. Are they going to go up there? No. Looking like he's just planning on clearing out the bottom. And Highgain is doing a very good job at solidifying his lead here. He's constantly harassing the sides rather than the center where the base is. And just continuously basically putting down the economy of Yun. Just keeping him in that position where he can't really fight back. And slowly but surely, we're just seeing Highgain take more and more of the lead. Metal produced now is substantial difference between the two players. We see Highgain here at 90k to his opponent's 70k. A huge 20k difference of metal is ridiculous. So it's going to be hard for Yun to come back from this. He has resbots out. There is several thousands of metal on the map that he could eat if he gets the opportunity to, but really, I don't know if I see it happening. He may get lucky. He has transitioned over to Tech 2 vehicles. Yun has, well, I say transition, he still has the bot lab as well. Yun just really struggling with energy right now as he's building his fusion. No, I thought he might continue that, but no. What is Yun's vision like right now? Yun does have vision of these tanks. He knows what they are. Oh, but this is what we wanted to see. Yun attempts to make a breakthrough on the front line of Highgain and does not manage to go anywhere. He kills a single bull and then falls back as the Jags march their way in. Saying, how dare you? You will die for that. Although most of the Jags are dying as well. But still. Pushes him back. Like, don't come back here. Stay in your lane. And surprisingly, this guy actually managed to stay alive. Which, to be honest, I'm really surprised about. And if he's lucky, he can stay there for a bit longer, but we'll see. Going straight for strap bombers, we see from Highgain here. He's got some fighters to support, but he's just going in for a bombing run win here. To be fair, he is winning pretty much every area. He's built defenses, Tech 2 defenses. He's got some decent Tech 2 units. He's getting the Reclaim. He's pretty much destroyed the expansion, at least to the south of Yun here. So why not, really? If he can get this bombing run to be successful, it's pretty much it for Yun. If he starts losing all of this energy. Surprisingly, though, with Yun having this much energy right now, he could be eating some of these solars to try and get some metal back to reinvest, but he's not able to spend all the metal anyway, so I guess he doesn't really need it. He's trying to rebuild at the moment. These guys have managed to break through, although there are enough blitzes, beamers, LLTs, and so on and so forth that, yeah, I can kind of make it a good point of, other than like one fusion, like, what are you gonna bomb? I mean, some advanced solars, I guess, but it's not like you have a lot of high value targets here. Oh, yeah, true. Looks like he's just going straight for the commander.
Commander destroyed.
Highgain takes the win. Highgain with a very, very strong showing there. He actually ended up building a Razorback right at the end as he started going to tech 3.
Battle ended.
So even if that bombing run failed, it would have been over pretty soon after. So thank you all for watching. Don't forget to do all that YouTube shenanigans, and I'll see you all next time.